Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Yeah. What's up, homeboys? Welcome to the 7Sharp show here with my boy, Blair.
We're gonna edit that. We're editing all of that. Yeah, well, that's enough that will never be aired. If you've just joined in, guys, and you heard that, you have permission to mute and then count 13 seconds and then join this conversation.
Somebody said for me not to use my deep voice, so I decided to
use the high voice. I think you just use the voice that God blessed you with. I don't feel like God blessed you with the high voice or a deep voice.
I worked at a disc because I got a decent. No, I ain't got that deep voice. Even though I've been working on it for years, getting that deep voice. I kind of struggle with the deep voice thing. So I always, I didn't go join the choir because my voice was too high for tenor. I didn't want to be singing with the altars. Man don't do them things there still.
Yeah, man.
But this guy, I realized I'm American tenor. An American sing higher. Yeah. So I'm on some American tenor. That's my voice.
You know what? I don't like deep voice. I'll put this out on blast. Actually,
Cool.
Because I think deep voices can be quite annoying.
Okay.
And I think what's his name again now? Pierre.
Oh my goodness!
Because he's got quite a deep.
Okay.
Now, with the risk,
this is guys. This is prejudice because Redskin come back.
He's
in
Redskin,
Redskin and brown eyes, man. Come back in fashion, man.
It's not too far from my complexion.
We've come back now. We're back in fashion after Wakanda.
You know what I'm saying?
After Black Panther, we come back with Aaron Pierre. We're winning.
Pierre would never be welcome in Wakanda. But
he's an informer.
Aaron Pierre can't come to Wakanda. It's more like
he's the village just outside.
He is, man. Yeah, it'd be more welcome in places like Scunthorpe. But I'm convinced. I was listening to Aaron Pierre talk the other day, and I was saying to myself, I wonder if his own voice gets on his nerves. Like, because when you got such a deep voice. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, I think after a while, if you heard yourself talking, you'd be like, just shut up. Like, it's like it's a tone away from sounding like a Darth Vader. And before you guys jump in here like he's hating, I'm not hating. Like, I'm just, this is the world that Blue thinks sometimes, man. Like, I'm convinced.
Don't worry, guys. I'll big up the Aaron Pierre crew. You know what I'm saying?
You will.
Beast Boys back into fashion again. It's brown boys, man. We're back in fashion now.
Aaron Pierre and
Pierre
Roger.
just done at the dance, the black guy with the beard ain't in fashion anymore, man. I dashed him out the way, man. Brethren, we'll come back now. We'll come back in fashion.
Brother, you know what though? Someone did ask if all the brothers that got big beards are they Israelites. Yeah, I know. I thought that. I was like, interesting. Because you get that, because a lot of them, Israelite brothers nowadays are black Israelites.
Listen, guys,
Israelite.
He's trying to open, because we have got a part of our range. We have got a browner Jesus and average bear. So you're really opening up that kind of way.
That's a conversation we might have to go down sometimes.
Because, I don't even think African people understand how African the Bible is.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to discuss.
That's not here what we're discussing.
But it is a craziness. But we're going to be, we're going to go, guys. There's some things been going on, bro. Things have been going on.
There's always something going on, and I feel like we've had a little bit of a break. We've been busy. We've had a few bank holidays and a few, super motes and stuff. But now we're back to cause more mayhem and more problematics. And it's funny because when you go to sleep and wake up, the world just gives you gems and dramas where you're like, what is going on? And one of them today, I'm sure will break or has hurt Roger very deeply. One of his, I don't want to use the words idol, but role models and people he likes to he likes to follow very much on socials.
Don't even go there, bro. Listen, don't even go there.
I'm just saying. And then the other person is Mr. Well, I'm not even sure what name we can give him. Like, do we call him Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Body Love? I don't know. It goes by so many names. Interestingly enough, if you've been living under a rock or in Birmingham under a rubbish bin, then you've not been aware of Diddy is now in court with multiple accounts of sexual with the free cuffs first of all, and so many other things that he's responsible for or claimed we're responsible to do. And I think for me, this feels like a Netflix, I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
Watching the whole thing, you're just waiting for certain key names. Cassie's been called in, which is mad because he paid her off not to say nothing.
Yeah, but because they made it into a federal case, I think it supersedes it, man.
It does, man. So she got paid and she still got to tell her story.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
And didn't have to give the money back.
And some dude that she was dating, he just came in like some
Kid Cutie.
I don't know who on earth he is, but
you know what?
I looked at it thinking, who the heck is Kid? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I didn't really delve in that world too much, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he just came in with a cigarette in his hand. He's like some superstar or something like that. Yeah, bro. And he just said, yo, man. This is what's heavy about American cases, yeah. The raw putting, and as you say, it's going up on an X. You know what I'm saying? So even if they're not filming it, it's being filmed. It's being, every detail is being put down. So it's when he turned around and said that, yo, Diddy called him at his while Diddy was in his house, opening the presents, bro. Going, I want to see you. Opening up the Christmas presents for his children. Bro.
It's deep, man.
I'll be calling up every cousin and said, tool up, Reggie, tool up.
And you know what?
I caught every man and their tools and weapons and bazookas, everything, bro.
But you know what though? The thing is about Diddy is people scared of him, you know. Like don't think this like I don't think you can get to where he's got his level of status without breaking some eggs. And I mean, if we look at his shows, the rap ones, I can't remember what they were called again now. He's done so many different shows.
Making the bands, something like that still,
And if you see the horrific things he's done in some of these ones, there was one story that came out, again, before he went in, that's public knowledge, where he got SWV to go down to find that talk show host, Wendy Williams. And basically, they waited outside the studio to go and batter Wendy Williams. That's how much control he had. There was one where he got Wendy Williams fired off the radio because he had a freak off where some of the people that were there filmed it, sent it to her and said, because you like running your mouth, I think you'd like to run this. She mentioned, we've got some footage of Diddy. And before she was able to kind of like mention it, apparently like 18 guys were at the studio and said, basically, if you say another word, we're going to kill you and your family. Like, this guy has influence. Wow. So it makes me question, like we talked about it before we even came on, like, a lot of this guy's character, so much people have already said there's some horrible bits about him. I've not really heard a good thing to say or heard about Diddy that makes me think, oh, he's a good guy. Okay, but we have to go to trace back, guys, because I think a lot of the young people are looking at Diddy right now. Yeah. And let's trace back to your babyhood and my teenage years, your childhood, because you're slightly behind me, So you got to realize that with the grades. I'm trying to say that there. The thing is, this guy, he is almost one of the kingpins in basically the commercialization of hip hop. He's not renowned for a great rapper. Listen, you can't rap. You know what I'm saying, and he was able to get some great commercial hits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Due to his connect, so he was getting samples that man couldn't get. You know, tracks like Benjamin's but he took the track off. Oh my goodness sake! Anyway, he's done bare hits back in the day. The Kelly Price one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, bro. All these ones, bro. Yeah. He's been around. He's been around a lot of numbers. So man, just making money, just what he was connected to. Yeah. Even Shine said in his documentary, said that he had bigger offers, 3 times bigger, but he wanted to be signed to Bad Boy Records. Yeah, Bad Boy Records, because that was seemed to be the route for black rappers. So it's amazing how this guy, who for ourselves coming through, was if you're signed to them, you have made it. Yeah, even Elephant Man, the artist from Jamaica, he was signed to. Was it? Yeah, he was signed to them as well. Yeah. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So like these guys, not Elephant Man, sorry. Was he Elephant Man? He was the last. He was like the latter. I don't even know my damn tour. No. Elephant Man. I think it's Elephant Man. Really? Yeah. Bad Boy signed a Jamaican. Yeah. And survived. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Let's say you ain't really heard much from him after that. After 2-3 coughs. I'm saying, go and check it out, because I'm sure that he was signed to him, Elephant Man. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember going to the websites back in the day and have a look at how to do things and different things like that and whatsoever. And that's it. But of all things, I remember when he got introduced to the scene publicly. Yeah. I always thought to myself, why would you call yourself Puff? Yeah.
And I thought, is there something in America that's different to us? Because nobody will want to be called.
Yeah, that was a slang for like homosexual, innit?
Yeah.
Let's just say it as it is.
Yeah.
People are like, what does it mean by because obviously it's a term that's no longer, it's a derogative term that's used apparently, that's used, and you can't really say it now. So I think a lot of generations, Gen Zs or whatever alphabets we're on now, wouldn't be familiar with that term. But then he did change it to Diddy Love. Because remember we had that track, the D, like, which is a bit self-pretentious that you made a track about your name.
I don't know, man. I remember he's dating J-Lo and all them things back
yeah. I was jealous. Yeah. Not like I was even in the same ballpark. I was this Darkberry getting J-Lo. But you know what though? And you're right. I think there was a time in music history where he dominated the scene.
He dominated, man. Mace and everything, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a massive Mace fan.
Okay, serious.
Listen, there was a time when me and my brother were like going to leave church and become the Mace and P. Diddy of Birmingham. I mean, thank God that mum slapped sense into both of us. But we were ready, like, yo, because my mum was like church to the core.
Yeah,
you ain't the day you can start going to church is when you can start driving yourself. So the day we were able to not have to go to church, we were like, I'm not going, but obviously we stayed. But we were very much like, yo, we're gonna be like hip hop moguls of the West Midlands. Clearly never happened. But I think one thing you can have to give him his credit is he smashed the music scene when Biggie and Tupac time was big because everyone was talking about Death Row Records. It was about record labels, so it was Death Row Records versus Bad Boy Records.
Okay.
Then obviously when Tupac died, it was about Biggie. When Biggie died, for some reason, the shine still kind of went all over Diddy. Because really, when you think about it, the whole Diddy Tupac case, there's only like 4 people that really shined out of that, which was Tupac, Biggie, Suge Knight, and Diddy. When you really think about it, Suge Knight got locked up, and he's always been like the villain of hip hop now. So anytime people mention Suge Knight, it's always he's the villain. And Diddy kind of had a bit of celebrity superhero status of if you come under him or come next to him, you're going to have instant success, which wasn't really fair and a good narrative. But obviously now to the meat, for those that are not aware of what's happening, obviously he's now in police custody. He's in court. He's been there since last year.
I'm in jail.
He's in jail. He's got more grey than me. Which means,
wow.
Listen, bag of you mans out there are teaming in life, because I thought, I just thought I'm just going to let this grow. But I've seen some guys now where I look in specs and I'm like, right, you're great, but you've been charcoaling it out, man. But anyway, that's another show we're going to be doing. But Diddy is obviously locked in there. But it makes me ask the question now. Now, I know it's historical, but I'm going to go back to it because I don't think it ever really had its place in regards to TD Jakes went to one of Diddy's freak-offs or went to one of his parties. And
wow.
We just kind of overlooked that.
He didn't even, he just went straight there with no prep for me to actually even say to him, oh, look who resigned 2 weeks before the case. No, is there any coincidence?
Roger's like, what? Oh, wait a minute, where we're going?
Are we go beep, 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 beep? No, on a 100%. And this is a problem, bro, because the problem is the whole details that Cassie flicked up, but flared up, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And bro, we can't even go into discussion because we know our people are listening to this and whatever. So soft-minded people, man. But the thing is the depravity.
Yeah. And
one of us, the guys explained it as that basically that he went in, one of the guys who actually went to get Cass out, or some, I think there's actually a security guy who goes around and gets Cass. He said the drugs that these guys are on, and this is what we guys, we are so hooked into getting fame. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The drugs that he got makes you open. You just continue drive to just being depravity when it comes to sexuality. So when we're seeing that our music, especially black music, portrays a very high level of sexual depravity. You know what I'm saying? You're going to think about it. They're in spaces and mindsets. People can say spirits, but they're around that vibes of opening himself up to absolute sexual depravity, and that's what, and I think that's the best way to describe it. Describe it before 9 o'clock in the evening. But the thing is, bro, like when you listen, when they broke down Cassie's case, bro, man, it's go, oh yo, I gotta have my lunch, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen, I you know, and I felt sorry because obviously, congratulations, she just had another child, but you know what's going to be hard, and I think I'm going to give respect to her husband. I can't remember his name at the second.
All right. You go in there now. I thought you're going to go.
Nah, I'm going to give some respect, and he's one going to give him some respect. Yeah.
Could you do that?
He had to sit in the courtroom. Yeah. Hear all these horrible things. Because remember, as guys, we're visual, you know. Yeah. So we see before we like, you know, taste and see, man. We see, and then our mind takes it, where women takes the mind. And then anyway, we
know what the man them thinking.
Yeah. So when she's talking about all the explicit things that this guy's made her do, and then you got to be in the room with that guy, and you can't box him. Then on top of that, she was with him. You know, when she left Diddy, she was with her husband now, or fiance at the time, and was still sleeping with the other guys. And he had to sit down there and be like, "Yo, she was cheating on me when we were together. I have our kids. I get you got a horrific past, but does that leave your mind of like, yo, this woman has been through the runner mill?" And there's got to be compassion there, but at the same time, though, as men, let's just keep it 100. As a guy, you'd be like, can I trust?
There's a number of things that comes up with that point, and I think that you being honest as a man, as men, we. When I say we, not me, but
not me.
They'll say, but our community has this idea of, we're gonna go out there and destroy loads of girls, but at the same time we want to meet our virgin, our pure one. But it doesn't make that logic. I've always challenged men about that logic, because they're saying that, we want to go out there, do what we want to do, but the girls can't do that. You're that close to me, but I will do it to every girl. You know what I mean? Like really, bro. Like that don't really make no sense. But for me. No, it wasn't a weekender. It was 10 years.
Yeah, man.
Before you get... Bro, man are like this. Bro, imagine your mum. Your mum seeing that your missus has been true.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Your mum's like...
My mum would beat the person and say she got prison.
Yeah. It's just like there's two aspects of... Some of the guys are saying on social media, how do you go with somebody who's been through all that because of what she
experienced?
Experienced totally because so many men have, you know what I mean, like
been there
because the worst case scenario, we look in the Bible and they talk about there's a is it Habakkuk? No, it's not in Habakkuk. There's a particular prophet who actually his wife was a prostitute. Yeah, and stuff like that. But either way, but if you said, "Oh, what was your wife's? You're getting married. Well, my wife, she was a prostitute for 10 years."
Yeah.
Look, you go, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, and that's what Cassie was.
Yeah. It's true.
So it's like, so you go into the dude, and the dude knew it. You know what I'm saying? He knew it.
Give him his flowers for that, because.
But the problem is as well, and I'm not saying it is a problem, but because men, he will then go to the bar with the man them.
Yeah.
Afterwards, the man are going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I won't say it because I know. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I can say this because none of my man them are in this situation.
None of my men.
If I had a friend who was going out with a woman who had similar experience to Cassie. Now, I know you might sit down there and be like, "But you're a Christian." Yeah, but I'm not stupid. If my bedroom's missus went through that, would I encourage him in the Lord to have a strong marriage? I would just say, bruv, live by the decisions you've made. Pray about it, and now you're married. You have to keep that commandment that God's given you.
But the trauma and the drama
in my head, I'm thinking, if this don't work, blood, I'm not shocked, and because I get it, trauma. And here's the thing, and again, this is where I'm gonna look a bit bad. I'm big enough to take it now. Some of it, she said, she stayed because she didn't want Diddy to go off with somebody else, which means, as horrific as it was, there was elements of personal choice where she said, "I'm going to remain in this." That's not healthy.
And that's a battle that a lot of commentators on social media were having.
Yeah.
Where you got some of the red pill guys going, well, is she a victim or is she part of the problem?
Yeah.
Bro, it's this PDD thing, man. And
it's mad.
It is absolutely crazy. And everybody's saying that now is PDD the fall guy for the industry. You know what I'm saying as well. saying that these things are happening all over the place. But the thing is, either way, your crimes are your crimes. You know what I'm saying? And Monique, I think Monique is the one who mashed down the case because she's the one who dragged in
the comedian.
Yeah. Because she walked in and then turned because it was about Cassie.
Yeah.
And when she walked in,
yeah,
and she just went like this. Shouted out, brought man into from outside, TDJ, yo, and all this. And the thing is, and this is what my friend said to me, yo, man not rating TD, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying whether TD, what he did or didn't do, yeah? But if any of our brethren said to us, let's go to UK versions of, just call it Hoochies or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would say, no.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
Say, no matter how tight you are, you say, listen, it's my birthday, it's my 21st birthday, my 30th birthday, and when I'm going out with my friends, and you're my Christian friend, come along with us to Hoochie. You'd be like, brethren, no, I can't do that because so bro, are you really as a Christian gonna go to a white party?
Yeah. You're like your pastor going to Chris Brown. You'd be like,
it's like
my pastor going to Chris Brown for?
It's like your pastor's wife going to an Usher concert and they got football tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? And yamming some cherries.
Listen, you're going to CC, you're not going to see no Usher. The only Usher you're going to see is the one that directed you to your seats, okay?
So for me, and it's not to say that TD Jakes, this is not a judgment thing with TD Jakes. It's just it's a real situation. Man resigned 2 weeks before the case. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? The tapes about to get released, bro.
Listen, and you know what? And you're right. It's not.
And you go to a birthday party by yourself.
Yeah, and it's not a witch. You know what? It's not a witch hunt on TD.
No.
But for me, there's two things I want to kind of pull out for this for me.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I'm going to say three because it links us very well to the other issue that we've got.
Learnings.
Is one.
What did I learn? Do not go to any birthday parties.
I'm at that age now anyway. I'm thinking about bed before I go anywhere anyway. So 10 o'clock, I'm like, yo, it's time to go.
Tired, man.
But trust me, I'm tired now.
Tired, man.
If you ever saw the stairs Roger made me walk up to come to the studio, every time my body's just like...
Leg day.
Listen, but the first one is, again, we're back in a situation that we was in so many years ago. I've seen an iconic, blessed, talented artist in the limelight again. It just so happens to be black around horrific stuff. Last time we had it was R. Kelly.
Okay. Yeah.
And so again, it just shows that success, as for me, so for some of us, we see some success for black people brought down by some of their errors and bad judgment, and they've had people around them. So, for example, R. Kelly, he was in prison, all the badness. Yeah. I remember brought out a gospel album, and bag of Christians flocked and brought it. He had a lot of Christians in his ear.
Yeah.
So are you telling me again that at that point there was nobody in this man's ear who could see the wrongs he was doing and was like, listen, I'm going to...
He produced Trinity 5-7's album.
Did he?
Yeah. And that was I think that's a platinum album, gospel album.
But who's there kind of pulling this guy and saying, listen, come on, man, like, nah, like that's where's the accountability? And again, I was vexed. I never brought did I buy the album? I think I brought the album.
Trinity 5-7.
No, R. Kelly one.
Yeah,
I did buy it. I did buy it.
Well, saying that, there's a couple singles there. Well.
There was a couple tracks in there. No, I'm not even gonna lie. His ability, his music was fire. His lifestyle was horrible. Then we've got Diddy doing the same thing again. And this is my link to TD, is the fact that you've got a big, massive minister like that going to these parties. And they weren't hidden. Lecrae went to one of these parties and he even said...
Yeah, I thought that came to my head, you know. You just said it, man.
Lecrae went to these parties, man, and also said, yo, there's some stuff going on there. I remember listening to an interview where Denzel was asked and Samuel Jackson was asked, because there isn't nothing really out there circulating, saying they went to these parties. And Denzel was like, there's certain parties you don't go to. And I think Denzel said to an artist, which is very scary that he said this, was, if you go into these places, you leave before the devil arrives. That's deep. So the very fact that Denzel saying, I've gone to some of these things, and I've gone early enough to not be involved in stuff, because his name's not attached to these. Samuel Jackson's not attached to these. So you've got so much artists, so much rappers and blah, blah, blah attached to these events, and yet the Christian one we get is TD. And as much as people saying, but he's a bigger Christian person, nah, I'm not having that, man. Like, because he wasn't, there's other people that could have been linked to going and they didn't go.
Bro, you don't. The thing is, I don't want to hear no Jesus with taxpayer play. Yeah, man. Them talk there still, bro. Because people talk there still. Yeah, like, oh, Jesus chilled with the tax collectors right at the table. That was just as bad as as this. nah, I'm not having it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, what the challenge is that, you know, can we be effective? How can we be really effective and have a great witness without going to these spaces? It's quite easy, and you know, into this, so you know, I've put over the crate, you know, and when I'm hearing this, it is a bit disappointing because it's like how much you're willing to do to take yourself to another level. TD Jakes, Lecrae, a lot of these guys in the Christian world, they get to certain levels where they have to rub shoulders, and they are rubbing shoulders with these guys, and you got to understand which parties you do and you don't 100%. Go to. And at the end of the day, so myself and Blue only can go off from what we can see via our screens as well. So we don't know exactly what it is, but what I will say is that when you investigate something, it's not a good look to resign 2 weeks before the case starts. And if you can, why is he just resigning out of the blue? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, Monique, and you got to remember, Cat Williams called this. He called out TD. The worst thing is he brought Jakes into it as well.
Yeah. He brought a lot of people.
Bro, so like, and it's consistent. I mean, Monique, to say that on the gatekeeping that's going on and the bullying that's going on within it. And the thing is, another one, let's be real. Tyler Perry. Oh, whoa, sorry, forgive me. Whoa,
I don't know why this guy. I feel like he should sponsor the show. Every time we did the show, somehow Tyler gets up in here. You know what I mean? Mr. Perry.
He's my conspiracy as well, bro. This is my conspiracy, bro.
He's a lizard.
Listen to this now. Check this.
Yeah.
Beauty in Black.
Oh no, we've gone there.
I've
prayed to listen to you know. And fasted.
Was Beauty in Black a target for P. Diddy and Tyler Perry to desensitize us to the madness?
You could say that.
Yo.
Say that.
Check that, man. Check that. Yo, because really, that prepared us, you know, bro.
Yeah,
because we were traumatized.
Still traumatized.
So that
still
almost
through things.
That kind of took us to
to look at it from a different perspective and angle.
I don't know. It just desensitized us, bro. He just like said, right, you church folk, we just want to expose it to some things. There's some evil folk out here still.
I'm tempted to take it somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? That's another show.
But the thing is, but the end of the day, Tyler Perry, was seen as, yo, like I've still got the DVDs of his early plays, you know, the plays. Yeah. Yo, everybody's yard, whether it's a copy or original, you know what I'm saying, had a Tyler Perry play in the yard. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody knows about Medea. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I know you wanted to be in one, bro.
Nah, listen, I'd rather be in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes, sir, bro. You know you wanted to be one.
I didn't want to be in any. You know what? I've only watched, hand on heart, a couple.
He watches Beauty in Black. He's gonna say,
I watch Beauty in Black. But Medea plays, I only watched about 2, and I don't think I've ever seen one the whole way through. Only because I struggle with the hypocrisy. That's a big word. Sorry, but I have to go there. Of particularly the black church, because mainly black church that played Medea. Yeah. The hypocrisy of black church is where it was okay to watch Tyler Perry dress up as a woman and do all this stuff, but if a Medea reality came to your church, you'd have something to say.
I came to that realization when I watched the series on Boondocks, and that really exposed it to me.
Yeah, man. For me,
when I watched that Boondock series and they gave their perspective, I thought, oh yeah, right. But it's not really a good look to to witness the people wearing the dress.
Yeah, and it's not a dig at anybody who lives that lifestyle. I think what it is it's a dig at.
And the hypocrisy of how it was cool for that to happen on stage, but then when it happened in real, you know what I'm saying, you know, and we just said yeah, but then when you flip it around, it's like cool, and it just for me, Tyler Perry, like my goodness, like, he's just coming back to me now. You know when they said his $1 million offering was part of the whole
it
was all part of this whole PD
and you know what, and again, and I mean, because I do enjoy I'm going to be careful what words I use here now because I don't
enjoy
TD
Jakes.
I do enjoy some of TD Jakes' motivational speaking.
Ooh, he's learning from me. He's learning.
Yeah. And I'm going to use the words motivational speaking because actually he is a 10-10 when he's got to say stuff on certain topics. So he motions from a man perspective when he talks about men. I've got to give him his flowers, his props. He killed it. I struggle sometimes when it comes to his spiritual aspect in terms of Bible stuff.
Okay.
Because it goes to like that part in the Bible in terms of like, don't tell a man not eating pork, blah, blah, blah. How can you witness when people are questioning or judging your lifestyle?
Yeah.
So for me, I was very much like, I wouldn't follow you as a pastor, for me personally, because I have issues with the people that you surround yourself with. You're trying to advocate to say there are cool people. A bit like when Kurt Franklin was trying to say, no, Kanye West is a great guy. He's fine, he's stable, he's a good guy. And now he's making this woman walk around in the same suit she was born in. You know what I mean? I struggle with that kind of level of hypocrisy where the guys will tell you one thing and their lifestyle is very different. And so for me with TD and the Jakes and with TD Jakes and the Perrys and the Diddies, all rhyme, I question, all right, cool. Someone at the top of your game in terms of leadership, there's certain people and certain doors that shouldn't have access to you. So for example, you wouldn't see, I might have touched God, hope that does change, but you wouldn't see TD Jakes and Anthony Phillips at Subway together or a burger place together sitting down reasoning.
I was just thinking about that brother as he took it. Man, what's this Jedi tricks today, man? You know what I'm saying? Watching too much.
But I respect his teaching.
You know what I'm saying? I respect. The thing is, this is why. Oh, what about the one that everybody gets vexed with? Mike Todd.
I can't stand him.
Yeah, but he's just creative with his
not creative. Justin Bieber's creative. He's not creative. I can't stand Mike Todd, man.
But the thing is, like, right, you give me the mic, I can chat a bar, which is really cool. And as much as I like what Anthony Mitchell's going with, I am so desensitized to. I appreciate what comes out of your mouth, but I ain't watching nobody right now.
Nah.
I've been around too long.
Yeah, been hoodwinked.
You know what I'm saying? Been hoodwinked.
Yeah.
No, that's
Hoodwinked, man.
Listen, man. Anybody, because if a donkey can spread the word, like talk to somebody, God, he can use a donkey, he can use anybody. I am not getting gassed with these guys because spitting 2 bars, bro, in a powerful way. You know what I'm saying? Bro, if I see you afterwards, go jump into your Ford and drive to your 3-bedroom house with your family, you know what I'm saying, while you develop, then I'll be slightly convinced. But from when, you know what I'm saying, you can move in 6 figures and move like they move a certain way, bro, I'm not saying that you're bad, it's anything wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying to you is, when you bring in the bags, bro, it crops like TD Jakes, bro, back it whenever you coming through and he doing them books and stuff. I'm like, okay. He's going on with things. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But then when I'm hearing, man's calling for ATK offering and all, love offerings and I'm thinking, where are we going with this, man? And so I want to,
see, because with him, even there's I don't know,
because TD Jakes was the same. If TD Jakes was coming out on Instagram right now, he'd be the Anthony Mitchell right now.
If he came out now.
Yeah, if he came out now, back in that, Anthony, he was doing what Anthony Mitchell's doing now. He was shaking it up.
Yeah, he was.
He
was.
So let's not. This is not hate on Anthony Mitchell. It's just everybody.
I like Anthony Mitchell. By the way,
no. Yeah.
We look alike apart from the grace.
Yeah. Even his missus cousins with me, man, Latino. I don't want to say. It's a Brazilian wife, man, Afro Latino. You get me still. But either way, like I said, and it's not to say we shouldn't. He's smashing, he's dropping bars, and he's doing it crazy. But just like podcast phases, you go for a phase where you watch one podcast series.
Yeah, love it.
You know what I'm saying? And then you go into another podcast series, and somebody else be the top guy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, I don't know.
This is what we like, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying sorry.
You know what I'm saying? So there's that, because but it all going back to the P. Diddy case, it's sad to see, but I do feel that it's a great awakening for black creatives, in this world, because I feel like success, they have to go over there and delve with the Diddy's, delve with the top. They need to be rubbing shoulders with these top second. Because, bro, we shouldn't be envious of anything they do out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the cost that they have to pay, what they have to pay to get to where they get to, I don't think it's a myth.
But you know what, though? I think the short form, whatever it is, I think the slap thing is, on the Diddy case, and I'm not backing Diddy on this one, so just to be clear on this one. On the things like the Diddy case, R. Kelly case, even as far as, what's his name again now? The Huxtables. What's the Huxtables? My man's name now? The old school comedian that done the Huxtables and got done for...
Cosby Show, innit?
Cosby Show.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, yeah. He's what I feel like we get slack. And this falls into Roger's remit, because he's always thinking there's a conspiracy against us as black people, is... how badly we're portrayed, how badly they're put in the public light, how badly the media drags them out. And Diddy, what Diddy did was wrong, mad, because all of this, all the stuff is out in people's mouths and the public and blah, blah, blah. But yet someone like Harvey Weinstein did something just as bad. And that was in nowhere near publicized or talked about in the same regard. And I'm sure... like, he was doing some horrible things, man. Harvey Weinstein, like, disgusting, horrible.
He's going around the world like man, private jet flights, man.
Like,
hooking up all the kings and queens, going, yo, King Zugi, yo, come link me up, man. You know what I'm saying? I've got the things ready. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's just like, he was like Diddy above Diddy. You know what I mean?
He was the light-skinned Diddy. And R. Kelly. He was the white Diddy and R. Kelly, man. Like, he was... my mum was going to
for
meetings.
The kings, you know. He was for the kings, man.
He was going to meetings without underpants because he knew what was going to happen in that meeting. And Harvey Weinstein he's a terrible guy. This guy deserves to go to prison. Boom, done. And it's like, hold on. Did we experience... you know what I mean? It came and blinked and went, man. Diddy's one.
Bro.
Dragged out.
But do you think we as a people we love that entertainment?
Man.
If you're gonna see a case, you're gonna see a brother get taken down.
This is why I said it's a Netflix, because
you remember Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Is it him? The actor
from the girlfriend.
With his girlfriend who kind of screwed him over, As much as that was the case, I don't see the social media drama. Nah. And that was video, bro.
That was video. We could be in the room.
Bro, he got scammed on that one still. Yeah. But the thing is...
and that worked out well for him, because he went in there as the perpetrator and walked out as the victim.
We're
like, hold on.
But the thing is, it's like, that wasn't no big thing on socials. It was big, but it wasn't big. It was more news. You know what I'm saying? But like, everybody has something to say.
Everyone.
We get our socials out and we talk the thing.
Yeah. Diddy's got baby oil. Diddy had J-Lo. Diddy mash up Shine. Diddy this, Diddy that. But you know what though? I think, like I said, there's no smoke without fire. I've always enjoyed the era of the music he's done, and I've never really think that he was that good.
No, he wasn't the best.
He can't rap.
He can't rap.
Yeah, his irritating slogans are in the background. After a while, it was just like, just play the track and shut up. He also mashed up Mario Winans.
Okay.
I just want to put that out there for random reasons, like but also again, and like I said, negative things that we portray, but sometimes we do it to ourselves. And when I say we do it to ourselves, I'm going to bring in someone just quickly, like your role model, Shannon Sharpe, who, for those
is your uncle?
It's not my uncle.
It's not my uncle. Yeah, your uncle, Shannon Sharpe.
Bigfoot uncle. But it's mad that
shoulders, I ain't got Shannon. I got Ocho shoulders.
He's old. Sorry, not say he's old, but he's a grown. He's an age.
He's in his mid-50s, man.
Yeah, so he's kind of like high five and 60s, isn't it?
Yeah, he's definitely his mid-50s, going for 60. Yeah, he's about
57?
56, 57. Bro,
see, now we got to Google him. He's good. I'll give him his props for his age. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look like he's using Razak or any kind of like Tiger Balm stuff. He looks like he can get up and put on his socks without having to worry about his back.
Yeah, but he both had the tapes as everything.
Yeah, man. But for those of you that don't know what he did, he's been in trouble for messing around with a young girl of the age of 19.
No, from the age of 19. So he linked her up from the age of 19.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. So when she was 19, that's when she's older now. She's about 20. She's been hooking up with her for about a couple of years. So she's about 21 now. So when he was about 54, 53, that's when they linked up.
That's a big age gap, though.
And we talked about age gaps on this show.
We have talked about age gaps before.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
and at first I was like, because randomly, I was thinking to myself the other day, what would an acceptable for me? I have to say this again.
You know what's bad? Sorry, you know what's bad? Sorry, guys, because I'll put the shorts out now and again, and then the short that talks about age difference came out the other day. I was like, oh God Almighty.
Because it's an important thing, but I think for age gaps, I don't know, down to your preference. But for someone who was 54, what was he was
born 1968. So
he was with Jesus.
Yeah, I'm saying so. Born 1968, man, and he's So that means he would have been. He's about now. He's goodness sake, I'm thinking so hard. He's about 56, 57. Yeah, 57. Because he's 8 years younger than me.
So, and she was what? She's 21 now.
She's about 21, 22 now.
19 at the time. So he was what? 54, 55.
But nothing's by accident, bro. Because the one day it got said that Shannon is about to sign a $150 million podcast deal.
Yeah.
The next day, she comes out with the civil case or whatever she puts out against him, and then he put out a video saying it's a shakedown. Of course, it's a shakedown.
But why would you put yourself in that situation in the first place? Like, you're a 50-odd-year-old man.
But Monique told him, though. You saw the clip from me when Monique got he did an interview with Monique.
Yeah.
And Monique told him straight, you need to stop. And this is the thing.
I don't remember that part.
Bro, she told him straight, bro. She told him straight, can you stop going for these young girls? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she didn't call them girls, though. She used the B word, by the way.
Yeah. So go for them young ladies. You know what I'm saying?
It's a Christian show.
Yes, yeah. These young, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't do what, you know what I mean? But this always, I don't envy big guys my age when they go for the young girls and whatever still, as I get, bro, like you're setting yourself for the kill. And what made it worse as well still, bro, he's like everybody's favorite uncle and people back him because he's like a brother up there. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, because she wasn't a sister, you know what I'm saying? It would, you know what I mean? He's the like say, bro, could you see this coming from a long time? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it shows you, bro, that you leave yourself open up to your desires. Because that's just desire. You know what I'm saying, bro? You're lost. And, I don't know whether it's real wrong. He'll be locked up if he was trying to kill her and choke her. It's definitely a payout money and trying to hope that it all settles down. But it really has knocked him off. You know what I'm saying? He's knocked him off, man. You know what I'm saying?
But he kind of brings it to himself. Like, and a couple of reasons. One, he's not a bad looking brother. So I don't understand why he couldn't find... He
looked after himself.
Yeah, he looked after himself, man.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why he couldn't find someone
in the early 40s. Yeah, even 40s.
Yeah, man, you had to go...
Got Atlanta for a weekend.
Yeah, you went to the bottom end of the calculator to find somebody to make you feel okay. Then on top of that one, and this one is a conversation for another time, but... And I'm going to give people that are not from the black culture a glimpse into Afro-Caribbean households where we're told... There's certain things we're told to be careful of. Be careful of the police. Yeah. And then for young black males, because I remember my mum having this conversation with me, it's not that I don't want you to go over a white girl, but you need to be careful of, as a young black guy, going out with a lady who's white and young, the ramifications of how, if anything you do goes wrong, the negative and the big impact it will have on your life. So me growing up, I was always told from my uncles as well, you know what, it's safe to be with a black woman. Then it is to go
that's
with
interesting
someone that's
perspective.
white.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good way of putting it.
Because I was always told and it's funny because some people, I've heard different arguments. Some people would say a white lady, some lady's going to cost us now for this, but I'm going to go there. I remember hearing someone saying, a friend of mine who's married to a white lady, actually I'm safe with a white lady because she'll protect me. Whereas if you went out with a black woman, she's grassing you up. Now I know some people, and I would agree. Yeah, bro, listen, I said it's another show. But I remember my uncle saying to me, I think you'd be safer with familiarity, where if you went with someone from a similar culture, it's just safer because you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to, they get it. So therefore, you don't have to be worried about those whole cultural biases or those differences in terms of society-wise, because they would have grew up with a similar upbringing. Yeah. So you just know, it's not even a discussion to have. these are things we don't do. You wash your meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why is it a thing when selecting what color you're in our community or any other communities? It's not so much a thing because
it is though.
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, we're the only ones who put it on YouTube, though, isn't it?
We're the only ones that don't keep things secret because I think, well, because we were so exposed to slavery, we don't know how to. But I think and that's not to joke about slavery or anything like that. I'm just saying, I've seen it from, because like you said, we've got so many friends from different cultures.
Cultures, Asian friends.
Yeah, I've got a friend who said, listen, his mom said to him, you can go out with any girl, but if you're going to marry anybody, and if it's a black girl, then we're not really pleased with it. And if she is a black girl, she has to be a revert. So don't be bringing no black girl who's Christian or a black girl who has no religion. If you're marrying a black girl, she has to become a Muslim. But then I've got a friend who, because we remember having this conversation with us as guys, and my friend said, you know what? His mom said, I don't mind if you bring a black girl home. Yeah. But she doesn't have to go everywhere.
Wow.
And I was like, what does that mean? Now, for ages, he was like, because my family's just weird. And me and my friend who was Asian was like, I don't think that's what she was trying to say. But then there was that kind of defensive thing. My mom's not racist. I'm not saying she's racist, but she can be, you know what I mean? Like, there's ignorance. You know what I mean? So, man. But at the same time, though, and I said to my girl it because my mom's never directly told me I can't go out with anyone that wasn't black. Not directly. But she did say, you just want to be mindful of.
Yeah, I've had indirect conversations, the one there still, you know what I'm saying? And I think that it is a big subject, and I think that you'll find online as well. Is a lot of issues with sportsmen being around. We more likely to be with ladies who are not black, and we have a lot of top black sportsmen. It's a massive subject, and it's a subject where it'd be interesting to get. I think online you see the worst cases of each argument. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's very hard to think. And it knocks onto another case that I want to bring up because we always have, talking about sportsmen and the news about, seen about Anthony Edwards, latest case. Now, everybody cussing off Shannon now, my uncle Shannon. Yeah. He's my uncle now. You know what I'm saying? But Uncle Shannon.
Dr. Boy Uncle.
My uncle that don't come to church, you know what I'm saying? Apart from on Christmas Day, the one there still. He just wants his chicken, you know what I mean? From grandma. He wants to come to grandma's house. So he's getting terrorized about the young lady. And I know if she was black, it wouldn't be getting terrorized as much. Yeah? You know what I'm saying?
If she was white.
Because she's white.
Shannon, you mean?
With Shannon, yeah? Yeah. But now, you flipped it now. A younger guy, Anthony Edwards, gets a black girl pregnant. Yeah. Then, and I'm not pro-abortion, far from it, but then gives her the money, gives her apparently up to 100K to say, listen, just abort the baby. I don't want the child. Basically, I don't want you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just abort the baby and done. Yeah? Here's the money. Just do you gotta do. Yeah? There's compensation, everything still. I'm sorry. This way. I don't know if he said sorry, he just said boom.
Paid enough money for abortion.
Yeah, bro, I know the abortion's not expensive. Free. You know what I'm saying? So she got a bit of a payoff, but she kept the baby, left the state, and then texts going, here's your daughter.
Yeah.
Man must be mad, bro. He's like, hold on. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot. Because I'm guessing he paid her the money.
Yeah.
Didn't see her for a good 9 months.
Yeah. He's calm, He's talking to the next girl. You know what I'm saying? He's got a wifey on his arms, bro. He might be even got a fiance or something now. You know what I mean? Because that's how they move.
Yeah.
He's got his ride and die. You know what I'm saying?
And then paid $2 million.
Had to go court. You had to go through courts because she tried to drag it through we went through the courts, and he just said to the judge, how much will it cost for 18 years? I don't want to go. I don't even want to visit the girl.
Yeah, no parental rights.
No parental rights.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Yeah.
$2 mil.
Yeah.
$2 mil.
Bye.
See you later. Back with ball game next day. Bro, is that good or bad?
But she tried to trap him though, innit?
Yeah. And this is the thing is, everybody, and this is where the flip side is, where we got our sisters go for white girls for trapping our sports. You know what I'm saying? And when you see a sister do it, you know what I'm saying? they don't call it. They don't call it out. You know what I'm saying? As harshly. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at Anthony as he's a terrible black guy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever story. So I'm just throwing out what I see, because trust me, we see the Shannon case, and I know a lot of sisters. I seen the conversations, the Zoom calls, and they were on his case, especially in the heart. They're going, it's a white little girl. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, how did and he got crucified. Yeah. His ratings in our community went
straight away. Yeah.
Because but then the flip side is with Anthony Edwards now. It's a sister, and like, oh yeah, she you know what I mean? She done the dirty on him.
I mean, they both did the dirty. And I think
she did the dirty.
I think the real victim out of all of it is the child, because one, you've got a woman who for I don't want you to say malicious intent, but she's gone. You've both slept unprotected. You've got a child in the mix. You've used your money to kind of get rid of the child. God has a plan. Then she's used that child for her own selfish gain. And you know what? Here's the thing is, and this is the thing, like,
she wants the money to have a flossy life, bro.
And
big house, and you have a child just to get that lifestyle.
And I get it, because she's trying to blackmail him, and as horrible as it is that he's paid $2 million.
Yeah,
is it better then that he decides not to be in that child's life because he's going to resent the mom, and it's always going to be an issue? Because some people might say, you know, just man up, man, take responsibility. You've got a youth now, be the dad, but you didn't ask to be part. But then you should, if that was the case, you should have strapped up. Yeah. So there's a flip side of it of, you know what, you've got a responsibility, man. Like, don't be getting all these girls excited, sleeping with girls, and then be upset because they do what they want to do with their body. Now you've got a child. You've got a responsibility, and $2 million is only up until 18. So actually, when she's 18 plus, she's got the right to come and look for you.
Yeah.
Like, the reality is that child is always going to be your rear view mirror of someone out there. Like, I've got family members who've got children who they don't get to see anymore, like in the world somewhere, don't know where they are. And there's always that rear view mirror of one day they could just pop up out of nowhere, and then what do you see? You know what I mean? I think that's always going to be his reality. Like, he's a big basketball star now. Basketball doesn't last forever, man.
But that's another, the damage on the child. And this is what we're saying to young people right now that are just playing about with sex.
Yeah.
Playing about with children. Yeah. And as much as she's doing it now, this is public, and young people are sitting there knowing that's happening on a day-to-day basis on the streets. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and when I say streets, in terms of, you know, not saying it's all drug dealers doing this. It's unfortunately, you know, when you've got somebody who is, we've been in scenarios where somebody's engaged to somebody in church and they get somebody else pregnant.
Yeah. Ooh, you're going now.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, how do you deal with that scenario? Oh, I don't know if to do the child, but I'll keep you.
Yeah.
I'll do this or whatever. I just want access to my child. Don't want access to you, but I was prepared to get you pregnant.
Yeah. That's because church don't talk much about sex though. And that's usually because some of the pastors are sleeping with some of the members. But did I just say that out loud?
Bro, even what is it that YouTube video I showed you? Is that
listen, I think you should put that video up and then let people to vote whether or not that's real or not. Bro, there's a video of a pastor sleeping with one of his members of the church, and I would say the Affinity Xtra team we had different. We need to put voting power in the Affinity Xtra WhatsApp group and then put it live. But some people believe it's fake. I'm one of those.
Yeah.
Some people believe it might have some credibility. Although, big up to Lady T, it's not an unrealistic thing to not happen within some churches.
It's real scenarios. Real scenarios that that I'm afraid that it's scary, you know, when you actually watch it, because you're feeling, is people moving this mad? You know what I'm saying?
What, like leaders at churches sleeping with members of the congregation? Yeah, it happens. And I think it happens because there's not enough teaching on it.
In the same conversation, he's dropping scriptures.
Yeah. Listen, there's some, you know what? I'm almost out of time, you know, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to chat people's names, but there's been times I've seen it before, man, where the leaders are messing around with people in the congregation. And it's because there's not enough, there's so much different variable reasons. Here's my personal reasons why.
There's not enough real men in church.
Nah, I don't even, because the men before were real, I don't start doing it. But I mean, the issue is there's not enough teaching on it. There's no teaching on it.
It's not a need teaching, bro. Right and wrong. Thou shalt not.
You know what?
There's no teaching on stealing. You know not to steal. There's no
People
teaching on. Yeah.
I think
You need to go in-depth teaching over, yo, you don't do them things, the brethren.
But you know what though? I think there's that kind of like
drop some Leviticus on them.
Let it hit the soul, because some people will sit in there and fraud themselves and think it's okay. And it's like, for instance, I remember one guy was saying to me, swearing isn't swearing. I said, what do you mean? So he's used the words of a female dog and said, it's not a swear word, it's just describing a female dog. I said, which is fine if the conversation is about a female dog. But if it's in regards to a woman, then that's not okay. Then he's used the S word for toilets. I said, that's a swear word. He's like, no, because in the olden day, blah, blah, blah. I said, but it's now a slang term that's used as a derogative term to say, don't like them. I said, I do comedy. People use that as a bridge all the time. Swear words are used because it's a quick gimmick and an easy laugh one. I said, so swearing is swearing? And he's like, no. Now, I was saying if there was teaching about the mouth, which is in the Bible, then you should feel a way where someone who you respect as a leader can say, you know what, swearing's wrong. Sleeping with people's wrong. But at the same time, when I say they should be teaching around sex in church, there should be conversations around ladies, and this is going to be a show, we've almost run out of time, but ladies, if you had a past where you was sexing up the world and doing all those kind of flamboyant, sexy stuff now, and now you're married and it's all nightgowns and headscarves, and your man can't get those things, there's going to be a level of frustration. Because he could look at you, bring it back to the Cassie thing, hold on, how were you so adventurous in your sexualness then? But now we're married and it's roll over, roll off.
How's man bringing this up now at the end of the thing?
I'm just saying,
bro, you can't.
I'm just saying we're just going to bring it's the catch for next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
So
yeah. I know. I think that's not education. That's conversation.
That is conversation.
So education is, bro. Like into this, so you don't do them things. You don't do them things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nay. There's no grayness to it, but there needs to be conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not educate, because for me, I didn't get much education, but I never delved out.
Yeah.
Because I knew the implications.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I should be a rapper now. Implication, education. You know what I'm saying?
You'd have one
conversation.
Or one track.
What? Jeez. You say,
that's not even a track, that's an interlude.
You say interlude, you know. You say, yeah. You need to have conversation. It's not just about education. You know what I'm saying?
All right, comment.
Cool. Yeah, you know, but then one turn up the beat. But no, for me, no, it's absolutely a great point. This is what I'm saying. I go to Anthony Edwards' scenario. This is why we do talk about this, and this is why we open about this, because I feel like there's no conversation about what we see and how we are being educated when it comes to because the world still respects marriage, still respects a man. They respect LeBron James because he has one wife
and there's no dramas
and three picnic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's no public dramas, and that's his wife from when she's young, and it's a sister, and they love that, that makes him superior to MJ in some aspects because they bring that to the table. If they don't bring that to the table, MJ is a way better basketballer, but because he brings that to the table, he looks like so the world, and I say the world, what we use the word, we refer to as the world, as people outside the church respect marriage still.
Yeah, but I don't think we know how to do marriage now. I think the world's a bit too influenced rather than influencing. Just saying. I think we're influenced, man. We wanna, which is why the Bible was clear: be in it, but not of it, man.
Bro,
but anyway,
bro, this man. Well, you have to open up like this, man. Wait, how do you get from Puff Daddy, Diddy, Jakes, Shannon Sharpe?
This is what we do, man, guys. This
Anthony Edwards, $2 million. Okay, and last note, Anthony Edwards, is that cool? What he did? You know what I'm saying? And just break the ties and put the $2 million. Would you advise him as his advisor in that situation? Why you advise him?
I wouldn't advise.
You wouldn't advise that?
Nah, but I think, like I said,
how would you advise the girl though? How would you say to the girl, take the money and walk away? I find a new man.
I think for me it comes down to what benefits the child more. Now I always believe that the child's always going to need a mother and father. However,
but the father don't want to know.
Father don't want to know. Yeah. So you've got a good financial nest egg to make your family comfortable.
Yeah.
If you spend that money correctly, which means to the woman, and this sounds really slack and derogatory, I'm going to say, but you know what? But we're grown, let's be raw about it. Wise up yourself, behave yourself, close yourself, and stop letting anybody just jump up in there. Find a good, learn about yourself first, and learn about being a mom, and then find a man you can adapt to, who can then be a good, amazing example and man for your child. Otherwise,
you just say to go to church and get saved. To get saved,
go to the church where the pastor's not speaking to the congregation.
Find a youth pastor.
Don't go to this church. No, I'm not going to say it now.
Find a youth pastor. Move forward and then whatever. But
don't find a youth pastor though.
Some highly valued. But the thing is, at the end of the day, still, that child will go look for her dad. No matter he doesn't want it.
He's got to expect it.
He's got to expect Anthony, it, like that. The child's coming for you, mate. You know what I'm saying?
And have the answer ready. Why didn't you want me?
Is it? And Anthony, as much as you're going hard now, your mum.
Yeah.
You think your mum is not going to want access to her granddaughter?
Yeah. Forget that.
You imagine tell your mum, allow your granddaughter.
Yeah. That like doesn't exist. Nah. It'd be mourning someone who's alive. Because you can't see them, but you know they're there. But you'd be mourning like, I wonder what they're doing.
And the worst thing is when the pity looks at, and it looks like just like his mum.
He can look exactly like the dad. It's gonna look like I shouldn't say this one, but have you seen The Rock's daughter?
Yeah. The first daughter, the big daughter.
The one that looks exactly like him.
Yeah. The wrestling.
Pray for the man that man just married The Rock. Anyway, we've gone over our time.
She could break him over herself, man. She can look after herself, man.
Mash her with a sneeze. But we have come to the end of the show. But as always, guys, please look out for other of our amazing DJs and hosts on Affinity Xtra. You can get the app on iPhone. So if you're on iPhone, you can get on there. Can we do an Android yet?
Oh, Android's just a nightmare, bro.
You can get it on iPhone. Or alternatively, you can just jump on somebody else's iPhone and jump on there. Or you've always got YouTube as well on iPad. But follow all of us. We're all on social medias. And if you want to find us, go on our web social media as well to follow us. But thank you for listening to our stupidness and education as well. And please look out for many more. Yeah, our conversation. But bless you all, guys. He still thinks he's a rapper. Guys, be blessed. Take care. Peace.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy. See you soon.